ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another absolute slaughter that we've got for you today. The Orks are laying siege to an Imperial Guard fortress, and my god, this is going to be an absolutely devastating fight. You can see already we've got a line of death corps over here, just absolutely laid into the front line of Orks as artillery rounds come battering down into the greenskin horde. Lots of choppers and storm boys charging forward, ready to engage. That front line here is already turning into an elite massacre. This one is going to be absolutely insane. Now, we've got a couple of artillery guns up here. Some of you might be questioning, why the heck are they on the outside of the fortress? Because when I put them on the inside, they were way too overpowered and it took millions of Orks to get through. So for balancing reasons, they've had to be put on the outside of the fortress. They'll still do a heck of a lot of damage, but you can see that we've got a couple of lines of defense here on the outside, and the rest of them are all inside the castle here. There's about 42,000 defenders. We've even managed to get some up on the walls over here. Unfortunately, this is mainly an infantry-only battle, and simply ran out of slots to be able to put down troops with. Oh my, it's a little bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. However, the Orks at the moment storming forward, smashing through that first line of defense with absolute ease. The boys are having a right old slobber knocker on the front line here. Happy little gas men trying to hold them back as best as they can as artillery shells there just come in and send Orks flying through the air, literally. Oh my god. This line over here, though, is having an absolute field day. They've had such a good view of the battlefield. You can see all the Orks pouring down from the mountains here, heading right towards the fortress. Most of the guardsmen on the inside have not yet reacted to the threat of Orks on the outside. But as soon as they start trying to push the gatehouses, I imagine it'll become a different story. We can see cadians here trying to hold out as best as they can. But unfortunately, a couple of knobs are here and a couple of storm boys. Look how big they are compared to the guardsmen. My god. And they're just getting absolutely swarmed for now. However, holding the outside of the fortress was never realistically an option, but of course, no one was going to stop the Death Corps from trying to do it anyway. My god, the Orks are just absolutely swarming over the positions here. We can see now that the Imperial Guard on the inside are trying to countercharge the Orks, who are now roaming in, trying to smash their way into our gatehouse on this side. How are we doing on the far flank? We're still chewing our way through the Death Corps here. We've been holding out really well against this Ork army. I really love this side of the battlefield, though. I don't know why. Them coming down that little hill and charging up this side was really cool to watch. Going round, there's a third gatehouse on this side. You can see there's an Imperial countercharge here. There's not many of them at all. Oh god, the Orks are just absolutely stomping over them. But more Imperial Guardsmen are trying to pull out. I think there was another gatehouse. Yeah, there's another gatehouse over this side. Reinforcements from the Imperial Guard surging forward, trying to meet the Orks head on. And you can see the mega knobs here just getting absolutely stuck in, ripping open Imperial Guardsmen with their massive pneumatic claws. How are we doing on our other gatehouse? Well, we're still trying to take out the rest of the Imperial Guardsmen here. The Death Corps standing firm against this Ork horde. My god, so many Orks have died already, almost 30,000. A lot of Guardsmen have actually died, it does seem like that. Oh my god, the Orks are actually pushing through here. But yeah, the Guardsmen have lost almost 10,000 now. Look at these Orks here trying to storm this gatehouse. The Guardsmen all lining up, all guns are facing this way. They don't want the Orks to get in at all, and the body pile is starting to get ridiculous already. We can see we've got knobs on the front line, storm boys trying to rush in with them. Guardsmen are just being cleft down as the boys get shot in the face. Cadians here holding the line, laying down at this firepower right on top of the Ork heads here. How's our other gatehouse doing now over this side? Does look like the Orks have managed to push all the way around now. Yeah, that's it. They are trying to storm the gatehouse now. We've got boys and mega knobs trying to on this end. Now, the mega knobs in this game, ladies and gentlemen, how I've had them made is basically they're a bit more like tanks rather than high damage units, because the Orks have already got a lot of high damage units. So to balance things out, I gave them these boys who can take a hell of a beating. But yeah, they don't deal as much damage as the other normal knobs. It's just a balancing thing. I'm sure you can appreciate it. The Orks needed some tanky units. A lot of their units die quite easily, but they deal a heck of a lot of damage. Let's go to this gatehouse, because this seems to be the most active. This seems to be the one where the Orks have actually made a little bit of ground here, and they are continually pushing forward. The guardsmen desperately trying to form a defense here, but the brutality of the Ork assault is pushing in little by little. My god, and they're doing it on top of a mound of bodies. There's so many corpses there piled up in that gatehouse. This one's already looking a little bit better. You can see that the Mega Knobs here trying to force their way in, just taking an absolute pounding here as they're doing so. We need some more of them light attack units coming in on that side. We're about on this gatehouse. Yet again, the Mega Knobs are the ones trying to breach it. So it looks like them. We've basically got the Orks trying to do this sort of holding pattern on this side. They're using a lot of heavy tanky units that don't deal a lot of damage to initially plug the gatehouse so the guardsmen can't go anywhere. And then they're launching the full assault here with their fast light units into this gatehouse. And it seems to be effective, because what they're going to do eventually is stop the guardsmen from being able to retreat anywhere. And they've definitely gained a foothold now inside here. This is by far the most farthest that the Orks have actually managed to advance here. The other gatehouses are holding strong. See a couple of guardsmen up here as well, noticing that the Orks are trying to breach in. God, there's so many of them still outside. Still 220,000 Orks remaining. These 30,000 guardsmen defending this area. Oh, they're taking a hell of a beating, I must say. These Orks are just storming forward, so you can see the difference here. These are the guys who can shoot, and the ones who are going into melee combat are all up the front here now. So with the guys who can shoot starting to retreat, that's allowing more and more of the melee guys to come forward. And the Orks have 100% got a foothold now inside of the castle. In fact, they actually might even break through this guardsman line any second here. Yeah, look at this. Hardly any guardsmen now are coming in. The Orks, are they going to breach seats? Are they breaching the castle? Are we going to be able to plug the gap here? Not enough guardsmen are coming in for the counter charge. I think the Orks are gaining a foothold. Let's quickly check the other gatehouses. So it doesn't look like they're actually over here yet. No, we're still okay on this side. And yeah, the body piles are just building up on this side. So let's go back over here. Because, oh yeah, the Imperial Guard trying to form a defensive line now. They are holding the Orks in place. This side is looking at a little bit more grim. Conscripts desperately pushing up here. Oh my god, I can't believe the Orks actually managed to get in here. The Storm Boys and Choppers really showing their effectiveness. Again, high damage, low health. That's how they work. The Knobs, we've got normal Knobs who are sort of like a happy medium between them, and the Mega Knobs are the tank units here. But the Imperial Guard are holding for now. Like I said, these other gatehouses, not really a lot has happened. Definitely a heavy concentration of Mega Knobs on this side. A couple of the boys are... okay. A couple of the boys scaling the walls. Somehow, I'm just going to say they've got grappling hooks. That's what we're going to say. And then a couple of them get stuck. Oh, and some of them fell. Oh, well. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Let's go have a look at the body pile from this side. Oh, that looks cool. I love watching the boys try to funnel into this area. It does feel like, though, that they're not getting much further yet. The Imperial Guard are still holding this area, still managing to plug that gap. There's a lot of conscripts in the, like, a concave just looking at that gatehouse. Our other gatehouses are holding firm, like I said, mainly because Mega Knobs are the only things trying to push in. Bit by bit, though, we are seeing a few more Storm Boys start approaching on this side. But the Guard are really holding this gatehouse fast. And this one as well, to be honest. There's a lot of firepower looking at these Knobs. In fact, it feels like the Imperial Guard might actually even be advancing a little bit on this gatehouse. Maybe the damage of these Knobs needs to be upped just a little bit. But I'm absolutely loving this. The fact that the Orks managed to get a foothold in here. And they're actually really pushing hard into the Imperial Guard lines. Like I said, the Imperial are really struggling to get the flank under control here. It's just this little trickle of men that are coming in that are really holding the Orks in place. And it does actually, like I said, the Orks have definitely got some sort of foothold here. The Imperial Guard desperately need to push them back if they want to hold this area. They're going to run out of melee troops eventually. And what happens then? That is the true question. What happens when the Imperials have no more melee troops to plug this gap? It's go back over here now. Because I want to see if... Yeah, no, it definitely looks like the Imperials are pushing this side. And the other side too. It's kind of weird that the Orks have got a foothold in one gatehouse, but are having real troubles in the others here. Like I said, maybe the damage of these Mega Knobs really needs to be upped just a little bit. Okay, so it kind of feels like we're getting this a little bit under control here now. It's definitely been a hell of a slobber knocker for this gatehouse. But I do feel like the Orks are losing a bit of ground here. Maybe the Imperials will capture this back. Who's to tell? What I think we're going to do quickly then is hit just a little time-lapse camera. We're going to focus on this gatehouse and see if the Orks actually manage to gain a little bit of a foothold here. We'll be back in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the Imperials have managed to get this flank back under control somehow. I have no idea how they managed to push the Orks back out of the keep there, but somehow they've absolutely done it. Let's go have a look at some of our other gatehouses over here now, where the bodies piles are getting truly ridiculous. There's still 192,000 Orks remaining. Oh my god. This siege is taking a very long time. The Imperials are standing absolutely firm here. They're not letting any of the Orks in. Oh, little Timmy! Not quite deep enough yet for a paddling, but, you know, we'll get there eventually, I feel like. Oh, my God. Look at this front line here. The Orks tried to surge in here desperately, but the Imperials have pushed them all the way back. I really can't believe that. That's actually kind of amazing. It kind of feels like the Orks are struggling now to actually even get forces into the gatehouse once again. Our lines are holding firm. Oh, the Imperials might actually do this with only the 22,000 troops that they've got left. That'd be really impressive because the majority of them are actually conscripts. Oh my god. I think we're going to have to go back to a time-lapse here while we wait for something to change in the battle here. And I've got a feeling it's going to be this gatehouse again. So we'll go back and watch this gatehouse. You know, let's get a nice little angle here. Let's say roughly about there. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dare I say that the Orks have actually managed to gain a foothold yet again after being forced out twice. They've almost got a foothold yet again. Look at the pile of bodies, though. That is certainly an Ork mound now that we've made there. Let's go check on the other gatehouses while we're here. Okay, finally, it looks like the Orks have started to break through on one of the rear gatehouses here. The Imperial Guard forces are dwindling bit by bit. 17,000 of them are remaining. 162,000 Orks are still here. Now, yet again, on this side, the Mega Knobs just tanking all the damage, really holding a lot of Imperial Guard forces in place here, which has actually been very effective tactic. Look at all these Imperial Guard here distracted. Now, once all these Mega Knobs are out the way, there's one heck of a storm ready and waiting for them. Lots of storm boys and choppers. Let's go back over here, though, because this is obviously the main breach at the moment, and I don't think the Orks are pushing enough forces through. It's going to be a real struggle, actually, to get through this gatehouse right now, because there's virtually just this tiny little crawl space. Look at that. Oh, that's fantastic. How the Orks are getting through there, I do not know. On this side, though, I'm a little bit more worried. It doesn't look like there's many Imperial Guard enforcements, especially on this side. Look at this. There's hardly any here. This is going to be a real challenge for the Imperials to hold this now. Now that the Orks are starting to gain a foothold, yeah, look, most of the Mega Knobs are now dead, so all the tanky units are gone, and the only thing that is left here is a lot of the high damage fast attack units. So the Imperials are going to have a real task trying to contain this. You can already see that they're taking a hell of a pounding. Maybe some reinforcements from this side will start coming over and helping them out, because reinforcements on this side are also starting to look a little bit scarce. The Death Corps up here have just been raining down death upon any enemies entering, as well as Arcadian brethren. They're still firing out into the massive horde that's waiting out there, still trying to get into the castle. There's a hell of a lot of them up there on the walls, which is why I ran out of slots and I couldn't place any tanks down or auto guns. Oh, that annoyed me a little bit. I had a choice. It was either the artillery guns or a couple of tanks, and I chose the artillery just because them opening salvos were really cool to watch. Oh, look at this. A couple of orcs now making their way upstairs, trying to actually attack the core. I would definitely say that the orcs have got a foothold on this side once again. Will the Imperial Guard be able to push them back for a fourth or fifth time here? Time will tell. Let's go back over to this side because, oh my god, things are getting a little bit desperate over here. Now, I didn't put, again, I've run out of slots, so I didn't put any troops on the walls up here, unfortunately. So it is just the ground troops down here. There is a couple over here, actually. Oh god, look at all this. A load of orcs have been climbing up onto the walls here, trying to take out the guard. That's really cool. I've missed a lot of this, unfortunately. I had no idea this was happening. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Let's go back over to this side. How are we getting on this side? Yeah, still these mega knobs, man. There's so many of them on this side. They've just been in this like weird holding formation. But we're getting some brutal street fighting now. The orcs starting to swarm through the area. Imperial Guard forces here, really struggling to hold them in. Oh no, they've actually got a flank over here as well. Yeah, actually, we've got quite a few Imperial Guard now starting to come in to plug this gap, so I think they might be able to get this area under control just a little bit. Oh, things are starting to get desperate for the Guard now. 13,000 left, 150,000 orcs. They were doing so well. They've killed 77,000 to 25,000 losses. That's 3 orcs per guardsman so far, almost. That's an impressive kill ratio, especially as they're on the defense here. Go back to the brutal street fighting, where the orcs have sort of been halted just a little bit. The bodies might pile up just enough here to create a pathway over this fence any moment, though. That's one thing that they'll have to watch out for, because that'll offer a flank right into the Imperials here. You can see a couple of Storm Boys have already managed to jump over. No, actually, they've just simply walked around and come through the gate over here. That makes more sense. But yeah, I want to see if the bodies actually pile up enough over here to allow the orcs to be able to path over this fence part here. The Imperials, like I said, really struggling to keep this flank in control. There's no way for them around that side. Okay. Yeah, they're backpedaling a little bit. Oh no, there we go. They finally broke through. They're over the mound of bodies now, just slamming into that Imperial line. Have we got... Yeah, okay, this flank looks a little bit more under control, but is the weakened firepower going to allow the orcs to come through this gatehouse? That is a question that might be answered very soon. Oh my god, look at this. The orcs definitely have a foothold here, pushing the Imperials right back into the courtyard now. Desperate fighting is being had here. Just look at how many orcs litter the floor, man. That's a lot of dead orcs. 80,000 to be precise. But they're having a little bit more of a field day here. You can see a Nob here making his way up the stairs, taking on a couple of guardsmen. Just literally punched him off the wall. Oh, this is becoming sporadic fighting all over the place now. It's really hard to keep track of. The Imperial Guard have been completely forced out of this gatehouse area now. The flank is looking a little bit exposed. We might end up with this weird, basically, gaggle in the middle. Or maybe over here. We're going to end up with this weird little defense in the center, though, as the Imperials get backed into each other and the orcs try to storm through the streets. Oh, this is really... I really like this sort of street fighting on this new map. The devs have done a really good job of reworking this map. Very happy with it. Sorry, I know I'm flicking the camera all over the place. It's just because there's so much fighting going on. Now, what I'm wondering is what's going to happen over at this gatehouse, because there's still a lot of Imperials over here. Maybe we'll end up with 2 pockets of resistance then. Maybe we'll end up with one on this side over here and one on the far side over there. Because at the moment, the Orks are trying to split the Imperials in half here. We've got a couple of Storm Boys in the center. And they're actually just literally keeping the Imperial forces apart. Kind of impressive tactic here by the Orks. Trying to split the defense in 2. So they can't all rally the firepower into one area. Yeah, there's just a weird little thing going on now, where the Orks on the outside here are just in this holding pattern, and the Guardsmen on this side are just getting absolutely slaughtered. Well, more Orks trying to come into the flank. I definitely think that the Imperial forces here now have been split in 2, and the remainder of them here are actually being cut down by the Orks now. 5,000 Imperials remaining. Is the castle going to fall here, ladies and gentlemen? Are the Imperials going to be able to rally around the final gatehouse? Because the Orks are definitely making their way towards it now. We've got quite a few Imperials on this side. See the Orks finally starting to get towards this group here. They are meeting fierce resistance, however. So as long as we can keep this gatehouse plugged... that might be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, with all the firepower now being distracted, the Orks are actually able to push that gatehouse a little bit. You can see, though, a lot of them are still distracted by the core who are on the walls, defending it until the last man. They're not going to give it up. Not without a fight. I don't know how the Orks are going to get to these cadians up here. Maybe that's a problem that we'll figure out later. But for now, they are content with clearing out the rest of the walls. And they're paying for it, though. Every inch of ground here is being paid for. But the rest of the Orks are swarming around. Our last remaining at 2,500 guardsmen. And they're now breaking through the gatehouse as well, with all the firepower now distracted to the rear line. Oh man, I really thought the Imperials had it here. They were holding out so well for so long. And then just this bubble just burst. The Orks managed to get a foothold. Too many Imperials died. There was not enough firepower to stop the reinforcement flow, and it was really GG when this gatehouse fell here. When the Imperials had to retreat and they lost control of that gatehouse, all the other gatehouses fell simultaneously pretty much. Apart from this one. This was our last standing one. As 500 guardsmen now know that their fate has been sealed, surrounded by a sea of 144,000 Orks still. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do think that we can call this one here because, oh my, look, I've just got to take another look at this. Look at this body pile here. That is absolutely magnificent. Oh, I absolutely love this game. Oh, all the blood, all the bodies. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've had a blast. I know I have. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who helped keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button below. While you're at it, why don't you go and check out this awesome metal print Cyber Doggo art? Wouldn't you love to have this hanging from your wall? Go check it out in the link in the description below. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.